Now, the Bohemians Lyric Opera Company is one of Scotland's oldest and most loved Amdram companies, with a reputation as one of Scotland's best. Well, after 5 years off, they're back this week performing one of the most successful musicals of recent years. They're at the King's Theatre with a musical based on a film that starred Whoopi Goldberg, and this show stars some of the finest local talent from Edinburgh and the East. And here is a wee preview.
Bohemians were founded in 1909. It's been around for, well, it's the second oldest company in Edinburgh now, and it's been going pretty much constantly, as far as I know, since then.
Well, the Bohemians have been performing annually. Historically, they've always been in the King's Theatre, but a few years ago the company decided to move to the Churchill, just for doing different shows in a different venue. But they are very, very happy to be back this year in the King's Theatre for Sister Act, so they have been around.
It's great to be a member of the Bohemians. I've been in 2 shows so far. I was in Greece with them, and also I was in the Fringe concert this past August. So now I'm in Sister Act with them. It's great.
Everyone, find a common ground. Everyone, Sister Act, brother.
Sister Act was chosen, but I say chosen in inverted commas, as a comeback musical because the company, the Bohemians, had to apply to do the show because it's just been released for amateurs. So they were delighted to be given the rights to do the Scottish premiere of Sister Act this year.
As we are having a religious show, but with a showgirl mixed in amongst them, it has been, well, let's just say there have been some touching moments where we've had to make sure that we're balancing out correctly anything that might be too far, shall we say. One of the oddest ones was when you're doing the cross. So if you're doing, you know, like this, as you do in a cathedral, it's always the right hand. And when I was setting one of the numbers, I had them doing it with the left hand. No, can't do that. So we have to make sure that, yes, this is an artistic show, and we can make as much fun of it in a nice way as we possibly can, but there are certain things that you have to respect as well.
I suppose if you want a really funny moment, one of my nuns is now pregnant. So that is a funny moment. So yes, that was quite amusing when she announced that one of the nuns had sort of fallen by the wayside.
So this year again, and for the past 20 years, we've been representing Waverley Care, and that's an Edinburgh charity that sort of helps out people who suffer from HIV and hepatitis C, and also their friends and family as well. It's a great charity. They're 25 years old this year, so we wanted to get behind them again, and hopefully we'll make a huge difference to what they're doing this year.
Well, the next thing for the Bohemians is our show next year, which is going to be Legally Blonde. Again, we're in the Kings, can't wait, and it's along the same lines of levels of fun, but of course a very different story.
And we're joined in the studio by reviewer Peter Ferguson, who was chatting earlier with the cast of the show. Peter, how's the show looking?
Well, it is looking absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so in there this afternoon, and you know, I was blown away, absolutely blown away. The costumes looked fantastic, the lighting was looking great, the set was stunning. No, it's looking good, and they're in for a great run, I think.
For amateur dramatics, it's stunning, isn't it? Why have they been away for 5 years?
Do you know, they've not actually been away for 5 years.
Right.
People think they have been away for 5 years, they're just downsized. They've been up at the Churchill Theatre in Morningside for the last few years. They did a show at the Fringe as well, on the Fringe Festival, but the last 2 shows were, oh gosh, I forgot now, Carousel and Jekyll and Hyde.
Well, you're good.
So yeah, and I'm really good, yeah.
Now, when we were watching that film, you were telling us that Sister Act, the movie with Whoopi Goldberg, is like an amazing movie. You love it,
Oh,
you
yeah.
love Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a fear that they might not do it justice?
Oh, they will definitely
Are
do
they?
it justice. You know, they've got such a strong cast. It's unbelievable. Just seeing the talent that's out there, certainly in Edinburgh, you know, trying to cast a show of that size, of that scale, to sing those big songs, to dance the dances, to do the whole thing, they've nailed it. It looks brilliant.
There are lots of powerful voices in there.
There's some big voices, there's some big personalities in there. They need to have
that's
big
what you want.
personalities, yeah, absolutely.
Because it is actually, it's one of those movies that's gone down in history as one of the greatest musicals ever.
Absolutely.
So they've got a lot to live up to. But you're confident they're going to deliver?
I think they've come up trumps with this, I really do. I think they're going to deliver it big time. You know, you're in such a professional stage, theatre, you know, you've got all the professional lighting, the set, the whole shebang.
You can't go wrong.
No, of course they can't go wrong.
What could possibly go wrong?
Don't say that.
Peter, what would you say to people who are maybe watching this and going, oh, do you know, amateur dramatics, don't know if I'll bother going and seeing that? What would you say to them?
You know, look at it. Look where they're performing. They're performing at the King's Theatre. You know, they're not performing in a town hall. They're not performing in a smaller venue like that. They're performing in a professional theatre. So there's no reason why the production shouldn't match. You know,
so go along and try it out.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've been to a few amateur dramatic.
You are an amateur dramatic.
And they've been outstanding. I've seen The Wizard of Oz, I've seen musical numbers, West Side Story. Brilliant stuff.
Oh,
You're
lovely.
secret lovey then, are you?
You've got some competition here, Peter. Some serious competition.
We'll see.
Hey, Peter, thanks very much for coming in.
My pleasure.
Always good to
Thank you.
see you.
Thank you. It was
You too.
lovely
Cheers,
to meet you.
mate.
You too, thanks.